Okay, has anybody ever played the game Mastermind? So in Mastermind, uh, I pick a series of pegs of different colors, and then you get to go through a bunch of guesses trying to figure out the order that I wrote my pegs. That's kind of what we're going to do today, only it's called the digits game. So I'm thinking of a 3-digit number. Zeros don't count, and I'm not allowed to duplicate any number. So 225 is out. All right? So your job is to guess what number it is, and every time you guess, I'll tell you how many of the numbers are correct and how many of those correct numbers are actually in the correct position. So, somebody guess. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Okay? Let's see. This would be... Oh, I messed up somewhere. I'm sorry. This should have been a 2. So you're right, 625. Okay, I did mess up a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go through the process and see if we could have been more efficient. Okay? So I've written all the numbers up here. 1, 2, 3. I know that one of those is correct. Actually, I'm going to... Hang on a second. All right, so let's lock these. So I know in 1, 2, 3, one of those is correct. And in 4, 5, 6, I know that 2 of those are correct. So what does that tell me? 7, 8, 9 don't even come into play. And again, I messed you guys up because I missed a number. Okay? So we also know that one of these 3 is in the correct position. So you guessed 4, 5, 6, 2 of them were right, and none of them were in the right place. So either this is a 1, this is a 2, or that's a 3. And we know that is not a 4, that is not a 5, and this is not a 6, but we could rearrange those. 2 of those are going to work, and one of them is going to be wrong. So what are the possibilities? Well, if the 1 is correct, what are my options for the second number? 4 or 6. Okay, what are my options for the third number? It's not a 6, so it's either a 4 or a 5. And we could do the same thing with all the other numbers. Okay? So for 2, I'll just write it out for 2 because that's the one you guys picked. So blank 2 blank. So this is either a 6 or a 5. And the last one is either a 4 or a 5. Okay? So guessing 4, 2, 1, that didn't really make sense. What's wrong with, why is 4, 2, 1 not a very good guess? Right, you can't have a 2 and a 1 at the same time. So we could have saved time there by saying, if you want to pick the 2, then you would pick 5, 2, 4. If you would have said 5, 2, 4, then I would have said 2, 1, and now you know what the answer is. right? Well, I know the 2 is correct, right? And, well, the 2 has to be correct because if it's 5 and 4, then they would have either been both correct or both incorrect because I would have had to switch them. So at this point, I could have said the 5 needs to move. Um, so the 5 did not work, and the 4 did not work. So my only option would be 6, 2, 5, and I would have been finished. Okay. Now it takes a lot of practice to get this down. So we'll play a couple games before you guys get to play on your own. All right, same rules. 3 numbers, duplicates are not allowed. And I've got the number, okay, I got it. Somebody guess. 1, 2, 3. That's a great place to start. One is correct, but it's in the wrong place. So 3, 4, 5. Nope, you got it. All right, let's look at this. 1, 2, 3. One of those is correct. Okay. 3, 4, 5. So I know 3, 4, 5 has 2 correct numbers. Okay. And then you did, well, actually, you pulled this off pretty quickly. 3, 5, 8. Why did you pick 3, 5, 8, Jackson? You were just guessing? Just guessing? um, it's usually a good idea to figure out where all of your numbers are. So if I would have guessed, so let's see if I could have beat this. 1, 2, 3, and then I would have had 1 and 0. And I would have guessed 4, 5, 6, and I would have gotten 1, 1. So I automatically know one of these is correct and one of those is correct. Okay? So I don't need to guess 7, 8, 9. Jackson got pretty lucky by guessing that. So and that's why this one is so short. So I might have done 1, 5, 7. So I would have guessed this one, assuming that the 5 is correct, and then take the first number from the other one. And, well, you can or you can't. It depends. So actually, you guys did that one so quickly. I could have done it in the same number of steps. It would have taken me 2 more to figure out the other one. All right, let's play one more, and then I'm going to change the rules on you. Okay, I got my number, 9, 12. uh, good guess. Jackson, Jackson's just a good guesser. So, so Okay, so that was pretty quick, but let's look up to that step. So 912. So um, 912, one of those is correct. Okay, and then 415, we eliminated the 4, right? Oh, not yet. Sorry. 418. So this was 2, 2, and this was 1, 1. So we crossed out the 4. Okay? We've also crossed out a 9. We've already used a 1 and a 5 and a 2. Oh, sorry, I did that the wrong way. You're right. So the 5, whoa. So the 5 is in and the 2 is out. And the 8 is also out. And then you just really had 3 guesses from then on. Okay? What if you had this? And I said 2, 2. Your first guess was 2, 2. Where would you go from there? Okay? So 5, 1, 6, 2, 2. So 9, 1, 6, 2, 2. 8, 1, 6, 2, 2. 2, 1, 6, 2, 2. 3, 1, 6. Can I go any further than that, or have I used them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2. 7, 1, 6. There we go. Well, we can't do 616. It doesn't exist. Okay. No, I didn't. I did. So what I want to point out is, could that have been done more efficiently? Once we figured out on this step that it's 1 6, did I really want to keep guessing 1 6 1 6 1 6 1 6 and 1 6? Well, I had, so 4 was out, 1 was included, 6 was included, and I had all these other numbers. So what I should have done at that point was try to figure out where the answer is. So if I would have guessed 2, 3, 5, and I got 0, 0, I just knocked out 3 possibilities. And then you could just do 7, 1, 6, 8, 1, 6, and 9, 1, 6. And that would save you steps. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you have a whole bunch of 2, 1, 6, 3, 1, 6, 4, 1, 6, 5, 1, 6, you're wasting your energy. You know the 1, 6 is true, and you're just hoping to pick the right number. Probability-wise, you could throw out 3 numbers at a time by picking the numbers that are left, and you don't really care if they're in order. But if it just so happens that you were to say 7, 8, 9, and you got 1, 1, that really helps. Because it would have to be 7. Because these 2 positions are already chosen. So there are lots of little tricks you can do. Today you won't really need them all because guessing 3-digit numbers is quite easy. But tomorrow we're going to do 4-digit numbers, and those are a lot harder. So each of you has your own paper. Okay, write your name on your paper. And this is the paper that you do your guessing on. So I'm going to split you up into partners. I've already decided who they're going to be. No, not today. This is a benevolent dictatorship. That's the best I can do. So you and your partner are going to pair up. Your partner will pick a number, and I recommend writing the number down because keeping it in your head, you make mistakes like I did. Write it down somewhere, and then you make guesses, and they'll tell you 2 correct, 2 digits correct, 1 place correct. And then you have to figure out what their number is. And then you alternate games. So you write on yours, and then the next game they write on their paper. And then on the last one on the front side, so you're going to play 4 games each by the end of the class period. On the last one, you're allowed to use duplicate numbers. So 222 works. That makes it a lot harder. So if my number was 222 and somebody wrote 214, it's just 1 1. So if my number was 614 and they said 666, 1 1. Does that answer your question? So 161, 262. So 161 would be one of the ones is correct, but it's in the wrong place. Oh, 2, 0. That's how it would be. Yeah, it's a lot harder when you use duplicates. So you need to play 4 games today. 3-digit numbers. The first 3 games on each player's sheet is no duplicates. The last one you're allowed to do duplicates. Tomorrow, we're going to do 4-digit numbers. So it's kind of tough. Here are the partnerships. Front row, you're partnered with the person behind you. And then you two in the back row are together. You two are together. And you two, 2 of you play as a team against the other person. But you need to fill out your own paper. Okay? Yep.